Red Power Ranger here for Chuck Etheridge, doing a guest lecture this week. Okay, this week, according to Dr. Etheridge, you should have made a great deal of progress in your writing field guide. You should have collected, done interviews of a professional in your field, and you should have examples of the 10 different kinds of writing, at least, that you would be doing as a professional in this field. And then you should be nearly close to completing a draft of the actual field guide. Not the introduction to other material that's going to go with it, but creating a draft of your actual field guide. So the latter half of this week, we're going to be writing a progress report telling us how we're done, how you're doing, and sharing some examples of what you found. So that's for the latter half of the week. We're also going to pay attention to important aspects of technical writing in general, one of which is the use of graphics and visuals. We've talked a little bit about document design, but we're going to focus specifically on pictures, illustrations, and visuals and how they communicate. We're also going to talk a little bit about instructions. We're going to read some instructions. We're going to create some instructions. I'm going to talk a tiny bit, just a wee bit, about the tech writing field as well, as Dr. Etheridge taught me to do. Okay. What we have here is what's called an infographic. And if you look at it, it's interesting because it shows the connection in the United States between wealth and income. And I just mentioned this. I need to put some glasses on because even the Power Ranger can have limited vision as well. So we'll get these on. And so, what we find out, oh darn, maybe if we go this way, it's not going to work. Okay, what we find out is that if we look here, we have the national average, so see what the average is, and the black or the dark green columns are going to show the amount of money and wealth. So the people with the most money are going to have the dark columns. So if we see here, this is Hindus, and these are Jewish people, and they both have the percentages of people belonging to those religions are in the 40s in terms of incomes of $100,000 or greater. So we find out that Hindus and the Jewish people tend to be the most wealthy. If we go out and look a little bit more at some different income levels as well, we find out that evangelical Christians tend to have fewer people making more money, and in terms of people with the least amount of income, those would be, it's interesting, there's division among Catholics. Catholics tend to have lower income, as do evangelical Christians as well, but people who are Hindu or Jewish who are lower income are really low income. Now, again, my purpose isn't to talk about necessarily the connection between religion and income, but it's to show how the way this picture is designed helps us see a great deal of information quickly. Because notice it's in a wheel. We see a range, we see the average, and we kind of go this way and this way. Most of the Christian religions, not all, but most of the Christian religions are to the left. Most of the other than Christian religions are to the right as well. So we kind of see some divisions there as well. Also, the use of colors, we see really big dark gray areas. We see high levels of income, and we see really big, very light blue areas. We see high levels of poverty or very low levels of income as well. So notice it would take pages and pages and pages and pages to explain this, but a lot of information is given very quickly visually, and this lets us hunt for what we are interested in finding, and it puts all the information out there at once in one space, and we can look different places and get the information as we want. So that's one example. The other example is oh goodness, that's not the one I wanted. I had one on cheese. There it is. The Power Ranger apologizes. He's not as adept with computers as Dr. E is. But this is just called wine and cheese pairing. So you have different kinds of cheese. In this case, soft cheeses, goat brie, ricotta, and mozzarella. And we have the wines that go with them. So depending on the soft cheese you like, and we can go here, and so these kinds of cheeses we know go with just with white. These are sparkling wines, Chardonnay, Sauvignon, these others as well. And brie and goat both can go with white or red wines. And we have some examples of those as well. So again, just a way that we can give a great deal of information. It would probably take several pages of text to explain this, but in this nice compact visual, we get a lot of information done very quickly. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit more about directions and good and bad directions on the video that I will publish for Friday of this week. But I do want to talk a tiny bit about the career of technical writing. Now, you may or may not have heard this spiel already from me, but technical writing is one of the fastest growing fields in the United States. It is projected by the U.S. Bureau of Labor and Statistics to grow greater than the demand and the overall job market for the next foreseeable future as well. So, and let me just show you a couple of things as well. Median income technical writer. So, this comes from U.S. News. These give the median income of technical writers. This is 2017 as well. So we see those income levels as well. Second, Texas has the most writing jobs in the United States except for California. Makes sense. It's the second biggest state, would have the second biggest amount of jobs. But also there are technical industries headquartered here. The oil industry, a lot of financial services. So there are lots and lots and lots of job opportunities in technical writing. Now, if anybody ever tells you major in X because you'll get a job, don't necessarily believe them. I always say, show me the money or show me the jobs. So let me just show you something. Now, I have not done this search today. I always do this fresh without pre-planning it, just because I want students to see what's happening live. But let's go to www.monster.com, okay? And we will let's type in the keyword writer, okay? Let's try a city close by. And it's San Antonio, Texas. So we'll find jobs. And there are 3,841 jobs found. Well, that can't be right. Let's specify. Let's do technical writer. Search. We see 212 jobs found as well. Let's try another location. Let's try Houston. $595 jobs found. Now bear in mind, these are jobs that are open today. Let's try Dallas. $968 jobs. Well, surely Austin, Texas. 439 jobs found. So let's just try general writer as well. Twitter writer. I know this is exciting to watch the web pages come up. Well, writer jobs in Austin, 4,592 jobs. Let's try some of the other categories. Content writer. Well, content writer jobs 495. Let's try other kinds of writers. Let's try creative writer. Funny jobs. And notice I'm just Easter egging, trying different kinds of jobs as well. Now bear in mind, these are jobs that are open now. If every university in Texas that offered undergraduate degrees in writing published as many students, published as many graduated as many students as they could, it still would not fill the demand for jobs in Texas. I just mentioned this because the ability to write instructions, the ability to tell people and show people how to do things in writing is a gift, and if you have a knack for it and you like writing, you can find a very successful, very lucrative career. That's all I'm going to say about that. Power Ranger out, and we will have Dr. Etheridge back for you for the next video. Good luck.